Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I wanted to go over what happened in my very first month of trading. Today is August 30th. It is the end of the month. Well, technically tomorrow is, but it's the brand new week and I don't want to be looking back. I want to be planning for what I'm going to be doing in September, and let's get right into it. So here you can see my trading journal. I know it's very complicated. So with all of these, and the reason this Excel sheet looks like this is because I was day trading, and that means I would buy a call or a put and sell it the day of. So that's why I also added these time entries and time exits so I can know how long I stayed in all these positions. And I was planning on being super mathematical about everything and analyzing what's the optimum amount of time to stay in trades and just eventually become a pro at that. But very quickly, just a couple of days, I went through a series of losses and I realized this was not going to be as easy as I thought it was, and I probably was not the Rain Man of trading. There are a couple of columns that I've highlighted that are the important ones that I think you will be the most interested in, and that is profit and loss. I actually am pretty proud of myself that I managed to pull out of these losses relatively unscathed. I did try my best to set rules and follow them. But even though I was following the rules, a lot of the time it only took a few bad calls to completely wipe out my portfolio, and that's where we go to total profit. So initially I had built up a good base of profits in these first couple of days, and again I was feeling good, but then just one loss took me back down from $92 to $20. I built it up again, and then bam, another series of losses, and 4 days into it I was in the negative. This was when I realized that I didn't really know what I was doing, that all of my calls were essentially coin flips. With that being said, I do want to take note that all of my SPY plays, or not all of them, but a majority of my SPY plays were actually green. So my theory is that SPY is a lot more predictable than all of these other options like AMD, Intel, and First Solar, just because the volume is so much higher. Everybody is trading it. So it's just a little bit more predictable. And I wasn't just making these plays completely willy-nilly. I was trying my best to use the Thinkorswim platform. I was looking at 20-day moving averages. I was using Bollinger charts and measurements. I had some information, but again, I'm a beginner, so I don't think I utilized all of my resources effectively ultimately. So these two yellows lines are actually calls that haven't been closed yet. But after this first week and a half of trading, basically I got very tired. It wasn't going to be the make money, get rich quick scheme that realistically I knew that wasn't a thing, but there's always a part of me that hoped that that would be true. So afterwards, I started making just swing calls, where I don't even know if that's the official term, but basically I wasn't day trading anymore. I was doing calls with strike dates a lot further in the future, just because that would give me way more time, way less theta decay. And I realized that unless I'm super good at day trading, it's not going to be profitable, but for longer term buying calls and puts, I just had a better chance and it was less stressful. And overall, it worked out a lot better. You can see here I got wins, but all it took was a terrible Sono call. And making the call, I don't think was a bad decision, but not pulling out, that was a very terrible decision. And I let it completely expire without ever selling it. Once I made a bad call, I held it for much too long. And then as the day grew closer to expiration date, I actually went camping and I totally forgot about it. And by the time I wanted to sell, it was essentially worthless. So this is a great example of what can happen if you are too greedy, if you're not cutting your losses, and if you're just not taking this seriously. Because Sono, there were plenty of days I could have cut losses at 20%, 30%, 40%. It's still better than losing the full amount, but I still expected or hoped that it would come back up, and it didn't. So set a stop loss for yourself. It doesn't have to be hard stop loss in options, because I think the winning percentage definitely decreases if you don't give it time to breathe and fluctuate, but you should set a mental stop loss. And once you lose 50%, just cut your losses. It's better for your sanity, and it'll also be better for your bank account, I imagine. As we move closer to the present, you can see my wins seem a little bit more consistent, and again, that is because I started learning more. So right here is my first call debit spread that you can watch me do live actually in an earlier video, and this was very profitable at $265. And the ironic thing is a call debit spread is actually a lot safer than all my other plays because my losses are capped and and my gains are capped. And luckily, this went in my favor, and this was my biggest realized win, and I'm really, really happy about that. There was a BAC call that I sold at a little bit of a loss, and then again, my knowledge had upgraded, and these last 3 trades is when I started selling puts. And I don't have a lot of data, but selling puts definitely seems like a winning strategy. Neo, also in another video, it really hurt me because the price shot up way higher than I thought it would. But at the end of the day, because I sold a put, I'm not losing any money. I just had to sell my stock at a slight discount, but still for a profit. So this is the premium I got. Workhorse was also a really great play. I just sold 2 contracts at $35 each and made a nice profit here. This is also just another long-term Workhorse call with expiry date of this is not right. It's supposed to be 1/15/21. So apologies if there are any typos. It's a lot of numbers, so some dates or whatever might be off. Here, this is my total profit column. And as of right now, I'm officially up $230 in my first month of trading. I have no illusions that learning this would be easy, and if I would have broken even, I would have been pretty happy. I didn't want to be in the red. Even if I'm in the red, that's just the cost of learning something that has a lot of risks. I'm really happy about this outcome, and you can see a simpler version of this week, and it's just very green week, and I know I'm gonna have more red weeks, but it feels nice starting off in such rocky waters and then ending it relatively strong after understanding what I'm doing a lot better. And I think I'm converted into the theta gain. I am currently collecting more cash. I hope to have about $15,000 in cash, and I will be selling puts a lot more. The win rate is definitely a lot higher. Just buying calls and just buying puts by themselves, it feels a lot more like gambling, whereas when selling puts, the odds are way more in my favor, and I will be making a video on me doing that live and showing you why it's such a great strategy. But yeah, that is the summary of my journey. The key takeaways were day trading is very, very, very hard. Swing trading options is a little bit easier, and selling puts seems to be the winning strategy if you aren't willing to dedicate your life to learning how to day trade options and become the best 5 or 1% of traders. Options trading is very, very stressful. The swings are very high and they're very low and pretty addicting because a lot of plays feel like you're gambling, but the odds are so good and you win just enough that it's fun. But you have to remember that this is real money. You have to stay composed. You have to stay unemotional. Don't get too attached to your gains or too attached to your losses, and always take profit when you can. You'll never lose money taking profit. Everybody says that, but that is absolutely true. And generally, if you're letting things ride when you've already made a losing play, it's just gonna ride into the ground or decay because there's theta decay. The odds are against your favor. That's it. Let me know how you guys are doing on your trading journey. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you all next time.